I say, and you truly want to leave this person who we just met to watch over the group.
It's just Luca, to be fair.
I shake my head, and I look at him for a moment, and I say, okay. And I just grab the.
You all suck.
I grab my Odachi, toss it on my back, and I walk by Stalboard, and I'm like,
No, we don't. Stabber's in the other camp right now.
oh Jesus, can we tell him to watch Luca? I don't trust this guy.
No, I don't want Stalboard to know we're doing this. Come on, let's go.
Oh dear, that's worrying. Okay.
Yeah, Stalboard, at least you're not sleeping, okay?
I look at her very
I'm
straightly.
the one doing what we're actually paid to do here. Excuse me, I'm working while you guys are sleeping.
All right, and I start taking right back the way we came, but not going through the other camp.
What are we doing?
We are going to go back to the little orc hole.
This is suicide.
It's not what you think.
What is your plan?
I'm gonna have him take away the memories.
You mean the whole reason that we got
Yeah, that.
Kieran? Why?
Right. Because he was really strong, and I don't want him to come back for you guys.
Are you truly worried for us?
Why would I lie to you?
I would not doubt your intentions. It is your reasoning that troubles me. I don't understand why you are afraid for us. You've seen us in combat. We're not incapable of defending ourselves.
I have seen you in combat.
Ouch.
I glower at her.
Kieran just kind of laughs at that because it was a joke.
When she starts laughing, I take a moment to like kind of catch up with that, and I just and then I sit quietly for a moment. And I say,
Listen, right, that was a fight where we had every advantage and we didn't win it. What happens if he comes back? We're already fighting a fight on so many different fronts right now. I can't protect you from this. Let's just go. We'll do it. I just don't want the others around in case things go poorly.
I place my hand on your shoulder and kind of stop for a moment, and I almost like force you to like look at me, though I'm not like. And I look at her and I say, "Are you sure this is what you want? If it were to come to blows, I would defend you with my life if required."
You're not going to defend me. It's going to be fine. You're just going to leave me if it's okay. Just don't tell the others. Tell them I went off to go fight them or something. They'll believe it.
I look at her and shake my head, and I say, "Stubborn in all things. Let's go."
I'm quite flexible, actually. I'll have you know.
I kind of nod, like like pretending like I'm agreeing, but it's obvious, it's obvious that I'm not. And I'll just sit quietly as we walk the rest of the way.
You'll sit as we walk?
No, I'll quietly sit and float along. No, I'll quietly walk as we go along the way.
Okay, so listen, here are the things you need to know if they take too many memories away. We're going to the principalities. I have a feeling once we're there, you can get N to open up more about the information about Nico. They have a big changeling population there. N's not part of the group, but honestly, that's the only place I can think of where they come from. So make sure you investigate that. Speaking of the principalities, they're not really aligned to one house in particular, so you can probably get allies while you're there. So make sure you do that because we're, basically fighting against the houses right now. Keep all that in mind just in case things go poorly. They take away too much. Got it?
I nod and I say, "What if they don't take away too much? What if they take away everything?"
Well, then just leave me there. It's fine. Just kill me.
This is foolishness.
It's not foolish. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine.
There's still
But
time.
keep all this in mind. It's not reconsidering. That's why I'm bringing you.
I nod and I say, "I will keep it. I will commit it to memory."
All right. So Nico, houses, principality. Got it? That's why I'm bringing you guys there.
I go down exactly everything she told me, in detail.
Good.
When you guys are having this conversation, this whole thing happens, a crow that was in one of the trees nearby actually flies down by you, but as it flies down, it transforms into an orc in front of you. And it stands there before you. The transformation is literally, as it's flying down, it literally lands hard into the mud. You see this bird flying, it's just a hard splat into the mud flying every which way, as an orc is kind of standing there kneeling. And he stands up, he's all black and oily looking, but then kind of like he does like a little shudder, and the last remaining feathers fall off of his body like he's molting rapidly, but even those feathers kind of discorporate as they're falling off of him, and he turns to regard you with his like very deep ruddy green flesh, fully in orcish form now, standing up to his full height. And he looks to you, and he'll say to you in orcish, he'll say, do either of you speak orcish?
No.
So do you speak orcish, Reich?
Nope.
So he says to you something in orcish, but when neither of you like respond, but clearly you're to some degree on guard by the fact that shit just happened, he like kind of grunts, and he picks up like a bit of mud off the ground, and he sticks his tongue out like Gene Simmons style, like way too far out, and he shoves 3 of his fingers all the way to the back of his throat and just rubs the mud on his tongue from like halfway down his esophagus all the way to the tip of his tongue. And he doesn't even gag or anything while he does. He just kind of like maintains eye contact with either one of you. And then after he's done, he's kind of like, I hear words you say. You
Okay.
follow. And he actually leads you guys and guides you not anywhere near the tree where you were planning on going to. As a matter of fact, he only leads you about a quarter mile from where you are over to a small camp where there are 2 other orcs and that hobgoblin-looking creature sitting there. The orcs are sitting in the mud. You know what I mean? They're perfectly fine sitting on stumps, muddy stumps, mossy stumps, whatever it is. Perfectly fine. And that creature seems to be sitting on a stump, but somehow not at the same time. Almost like just barely above it. But whatever. So as he kind of walks, as he walks into the camp, everybody else in the camp seems to be expecting you to arrive. They don't react. They don't do anything. They just kind of watch as you guys walk in, as though they expected you to arrive the whole time. And when
Fucking creepy.
When you go walking in, do either of you say or do anything at first?
Nope. I just looked to
Well,
Kieran.
impatiently wait.
Okay.
I just looked to Kieran as we're on our way, and I say, it's not too late to turn back.
Break. Stop.
Without saying a word, he stands up and he walks over to Kieran, and he stands before her with kind of like look in his eyes. Once again, no happiness, no sadness, no emotion, just dedication is all you see.
You're so fucking creepy.
That's what she says.
That's what she says, yeah.
And since she doesn't seem to be putting up any resistances, he just does one tiny little nod, ever so slight nod of the head, and he lifts his hands up and he places them on either side of her head. And then he proceeds for over the course of the next Reich, you know it's about 10 minutes. Kieran, it honestly is gone in a flash. And it ends with Kieran literally kind of like and like falling backwards into the mud and going splat into the mud unconscious. That's how it literally ends for Reich to see. And I imagine when he sees her kind of like fall back unconscious into the mud after like an ongoing experience that looks very frightening, I imagine Reich is quite on edge. But that same...
I would have been standing right next to her. I would have probably tried to catch her if she was...
Sure. And you do so easily. And so that other orc that had done the tongue thing before, he walks forward and he says, "It is done. She not remember anything about us. We hunt you. We take all. But you change mind. We only take one."
I know. I nod, and I look at this other creature, looking past all of the other orcs, and I just look him dead in the eye, and I say, "If there's anything else wrong with her, I'll find you."
There is not wrong, but
I ignore him, and I just glare at this otherworldly creature, and I just kind of like ignoring what the orc saying. I say, I don't know if what you showed me is true. I believe it because I read it. I've never seen it with my own eyes, and I don't know what you showed Stalbor. But if this is to come to pass, you'll make no friends if you treat everyone who walks through your woods like enemies.
With that, because you cut off the orc will not say what he was going to say. Instead, in your mind, you'll hear the creature speak to you. And what he says in your mind is, you and I are not so different. I was once you, and if things pass, you will become I, as is their way. I am better than you are, but a servant with broken chains. Any broken chain can be mended if done the right way, and so we must keep both the smith and the master from ever getting his hand on my shackles again. This is why we take the precautions. For if all of us were to also turn on all of you, who would there be to protect you when the darkest of night comes to set on the day?
I will protect myself.
You don't know how, but because of our link, if you're willing, I can teach you something.
I look down at Kieran's unconscious body.
She's resting.
Just throw her over my shoulder. Yeah, let's do it, buddy. I look back at him and I say, what can you teach me?
Nothing like anything you've ever been taught, but something that you've always sought. She's resting. Lay her down. Let her enjoy. Let her mind find answers to the questions it has just discovered. Let it fill the gaps that have just formed.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna find a dry place for her to lay, and
if he notices you doing that, immediately one of the druids kind of like walks towards a spot that's over near you, kind of like where you're over, and he like reaches his hands out, and all of the mud peels away from there, and all the moss and goop and everything underneath kind of like slops away with the mud that pulls back, and all of the grounds there just immediately dries. There is moss and everything. There are type of like under swamp flora that exists. All of that stays, almost making like a soft cushioned bed.
I nod and I thank him as I place her down. And I stand back straight to my full height, and I turn to him and I say, show me.
It is not something you can see with these eyes, he says, pointing at yours. He says, it's only one you can see with this eye. And he like reaches forward to, like boop on the forehead. And as he does so, Reich goes reeling backwards into like this crazy chaotic mind meld that's going on between the two of you. Does Reich resist it? Which is, I imagine, his instinct at first. Does he resist it, or does he choose to give in to whatever it is that this creature is doing?
At first, just out of pure instinct to hold on to my mind, I would, but
Intelligence
like if
save, sir.
Okay, boom. Let's do this.
Let's do this. It's going to go well. Okay.
Not so many words. All right, so yeah, I would resist at first.
Well, actually, do you use an action point because you want to resist it first? Okay, then I'll actually tell you literally failed by 1 because his DC is really good. If you don't remember from the fight you fought with him.
Yeah.
So you literally failed by 1. It's one of those like your mind fought and fought hard and almost was able to resist it, but then like he just kind of like doubled down and pushed forward. But it's not like anybody with these kind of abilities could get through to you. The reason why he was able to push forward is because there was something inside of him that just touched something inside of you. It was that lineage, that long lost lineage, and it's only now that you realize that like as he's kind of forcing his mind into yours, he forces it forward. It's the swirl of chaos that you received isn't just like visions or power, like raw power, like a spell being cast on you. It's actually his own experience, his own life happenings. It's only now that you realize how old he is, and he's been around for a long time, long enough to even see your past. Not you personally, but your people's past, to have seen the Dakani Empire when it was at its height. And it's now that you realize he is in fact not a he at all. He is in fact a she. You couldn't tell because of all the physiological changes that have happened to his nature. Like it's one of like, not naked, you know? You didn't see the parts. So you just assumed it was a he because of like the voice, the demeanor, and all this stuff. But now, like as you come to realize that he is in fact female, or at least was a hobgoblin female at one point in time, you come to realize probably the reason why she is as dedicated and everything as she is with her cause is because hobgoblin females have always been the diplomats. And so she has a diplomatic mind that was able to expand outwards and become this incredible creature that she is. So anyways, she forces her mind into yours, melds with you in such a way that she actually pours into you a lot of experience. Something that you don't just like glean her experiences from it. It also changes you ever so slightly. Oh shit, Reich. Uh-oh. You're gonna have to make me a will save, buddy.
Intelligence save or a wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom save, my apologies, and thank you.
Please tell me he goes back to being green.
It ain't easy being green. Ollie, to work!
Once again, I ask, are you happy with that roll, or would you like to add one?
We'll let it ride.
Okay. Unfortunately,
you don't know what happens.
Unfortunately, failing with this save, it's not just when she gives her experiences, everything she went through to you. She gave to you all the things she wanted to, but your mind was too brittle, and so you took more than you were supposed to. You also took some of what changed her as well, and because of that, a part of Reich is actually like the many facets of Reich's mind. A few of them actually crack. They actually break a little. And because of that, Reich loses a small bit of who he is. And if we were playing with alignments as a strict thing, I would tell you, you took a hard step towards the alignment of chaos. You're not actually like, oh, you must, but your character now is going to see things with a more chaotic eye than he would have before. He's going to approach situations and perceive things with a little less of that dedication that he had, and a little more of that, you know, we're going to say paranoid. We're going to say confused. We're going to say intentionally mischievous mind. It's deep down. It's buried. But the first cracks to his mind are there. The first break. And we all know once the first break happens, the integrity of the rest of it is always going to be compromised. Unless it's able to be fixed, right? So that happens. And when all is said and done, Stalwart, you come out of your break, your sleep, and they've been gone. Like, you realize they're gone, and you inquire him about it, and he informs you that they've been gone for a while. I don't know. They left hours ago? Reich's okay, though. And he points at Luca.
Nailed it.
I just looked down at him and was like, I'm going to... You're not worth it. I guess I would walk to the edge of the camp and like scan, but then I wouldn't see them, and I would kind of sigh, and I would walk over to Luca and I would kick him.
Okay. You walk up to Luca and you kick him.
Yeah. Luca wakes up. Yeah.
Kieran and Reich are missing.
He just like went from that groggy wake up to just like, either I'm gonna kill them or I'm gonna kill someone who took them. Like, he's just like annoyed.
Yeah.
Give me 10 minutes.
Okay.
He starts like putting on his armor and tying his boots back on, grabbing his socks that were drying on a line of some sort, I'm sure. Like, he just grumbly and getting dressed.
Oh. Beneath purple. I don't even need to ask. I knew.
Yeah, beneath purple.
So then I would look around for any sign of where they went, I guess.
Oh, they went that way.
I would look around for any sign from where they went.
Roll for your survival check.
Oh, dude, Reich goes away with Kieran for a couple hours, and he becomes Kieran. What is this?
You find, well, she's very persuasive. So you easily are able to find their tracks in the mud. I mean, it is Reich and Kieran.
Yeah, I just like, all right, this way.
He has big steps, and she's just sloppy.
She's not trying to hide the steps, like, at all.
No.
Yeah, I follow, and I look at the other guy who's like, was, I guess, watching me while I was sleeping, and I'm like I said, at my hip.
Oh, okay.
Well, you realize that I'm not a dog, right? Like, you don't need to treat me like this.
I'm not treating you poorly. I just don't want you to die. I have your best interests in mind.
Okay. And he does come along with you. Okay. So
and he'll look at the guy. Does the guy have any type of weaponry?
No.
Luke is gonna hand him a hand axe.
He's like, do you need me to chop wood? I thought we were looking for...
No. Like I said, if there's combat, hide.
Luca, please stop talking to the man.
But if you need to defend yourself, do so.
Oh,
really
yeah.
giving me a
I'm
headache.
sorry. I'm just still a bit out of sorts. Okay, let me follow you.
Everything's giving me a headache.
Okay. So, guys go searching for with your 21 survival check. You're easily able to find the two of them. Alone, passed out, unconscious, in the middle of the swamp. However, Kieran seems to be very, very, very comfortably lying on a dry bit of moss. Like the most dry patch in the swamp you've seen so far. And she actually looks incredibly comfortable as she's lying there. Reich, however, is sitting in a very, very comfortable, like leg over leg format. Not quite full lotus, but a leg over leg format. And he seems to be, honestly, Stalbor, if you had to guess, it's almost like a trance. It's almost like a elven trance is what he looks like he's in. He just seems so focused and at peace. I mean, you've seen him do his meditations before, but this is beyond.
It's nothing like mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, as Stalwart's probably gonna go look at them, Luke will just like look around just to make sure that nothing's trying to attack them or keeping them here as bait, or he's just kind of like looking around while I assume Stalwart would go up to them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'd go up to Reich and I'd kind of just like nudge him.
Sure. And as you nudge him, Reich, you completely come to. You have full memory of everything, and you completely come to. You, in your mind, it was a really scary minute. But when you come to and you see Stalbor in front of you, you're actually surprised because that's not how you expected to see in front of you. Maybe it's a part of the training.
I reach out. I like stare at you strangely for a moment. I reach out and like touch you, and when I realize you're real, I pull my hand back and I stand back up and I just kind of shake my head for a moment and it just, hi. Hi.
What were you two doing out here?
She She wanted to forget. She thought it was safer. I knew that she would have done it anyways. I joined her because I figured it was safer this way. She forgot. At least the stuff from the tree. I don't know how much exactly. I haven't spoken to her yet, and then I don't know. It's kind of a blur. Let's
Did
gather
he
up.
show you?
No, don't worry about it. Let's gather up. I'm gonna go over to her and I'm gonna try to wake her up.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And you go to wake her up, Kieran. Oh my God, you have never slept so well. This is the most comfortable bed you've been in. You've had the sweetest of dreams. This genuinely is one of the best night's rests and most relaxing experiences you've had since I don't know, the war, because you used to sleep easy when you were killing people. But honestly, in years, best nights in years.
I'm just gonna like shoot like right away. I'm like, go away. I'm sleeping.
Yes, I know. Well,
Have Salbor take my watch for me. He doesn't need to sleep. Go away.
Oh.
And like I'll roll back over to sleep.
When she says Stalboy, I seem to visibly like. I look at him and I say, at least you remember who we are.
That
Kieran.
is the most important thing.
It is time to wake up. I understand that you're comfortable, but sleep is over. We have a task to attend to.
Nope, sleeping. Go away. It's still night.
Kieran.
Go away.
Kieran, awaken.
Let her sleep. We'll just move our camp over here. Don't worry about it.
I look around for a moment like I'm looking for something, and then I kind of shake my head and look back at you, and I say, okay, well then, I've rested. I'm fine. I'll take this watch if you guys want to rest.
I'm going to dismantle the rest of the Canif camp.
All right, you do that. I'll watch.
Yeah. Go to sleep, Luca.
Ollie, could you do me a favor and roll me an investigation for your investigation of the Kenneth camp?
Investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Want to do a little bit of investigation?
It's investigation. All right. So that is a beautiful fucking investigation roll. Jesus Christ, you guys are rolling extremely well today. Going over there, you find a whole bunch of research that was not destroyed. Research is actually in really good shape, including like books and like instructions for how to make things and so on and so forth. You gather it all together, but you don't really have time to pour through it and read what it is, at least not as of right now. Do you guys just want to spend the entire day here and try to like give Kira a whole day of rest? Or is it like, no, we'll give her a few hours, then get her the heck up?
I think we'd finish the
Our
like
rest.
long rest
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then be fine.
then
So
we're
it's probably
done.
like 4 more
maybe like
hours
a little
or
bit
whatever.
more than that. Yeah, exactly. You know, just to make sure that she gets the
Wait
full-
until daytime at the very least.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. All right, cool. And so you do exactly that. And why don't we, with that, take our first break, and when we come back, we'll see exactly what has happened. All right. See everybody in about 5 minutes. Bye.